Welcome back to the next installment of the Two Guys, Two Seamen podcast. I am Brian, and I am joined by Chad and Michael. Welcome.
Howdy.
Welcome, all my children.
Yes, this is a children's show.
We have
Mature, though.
we have a lot of football to get to, a lot of NFL news to get to, and
Thank God.
And we also have some basketball to get to as well. So, we'll get to all that, but let's get started with my opinion, second worst trade in NFL history, but I'll explain that in a minute. Russell Wilson's done in Denver.
No one's surprised though.
No,
just when it was going to happen.
Yeah, Peyton hated him from the get-go. He was a marked man.
Yeah,
bad culture fit.
I mean, Russ he's too cheesy for his own good, man.
Yeah.
You can't have your own parking spot. You're not allowed to have your own office.
He thinks he just came off of winning a Super Bowl when that was like, I don't know, 9 years ago. So
something like that.
So it's been a while for him. He thinks that he's still living in 2015.
To be fair, when did Sean Payton win one?
Illegally won one.
Well, that's true. That's true.
In 2009. 2010.
Be fair, the Legion of Boom is the reason Russell Wilson even had a chance of winning Super Bowls.
And Beast Mode.
And Mahomes this last year.
Yeah, that was true. Like I mean, I put this up there as one of the worst trades. I mean, it's not. So Drew Lock's not good. Noah Fant's good. They got some picks, but their best pick they got was Devin Witherspoon. That dude is very good. So I mean, like they made out like bandits.
I mean, with that many chances to pick players, I mean, you're bound to at least a couple of them are going to be a gem.
Yeah.
And the fact he's a fifth rounder, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. No, he's fifth overall.
Oh, fifth overall. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Charles Cross, actually. I don't even know who that is.
I don't know who that is either.
Witherspoon was the only one I heard of.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of the other guy.
Actually, I don't know.
Drew Lock and Noah Fant. Yeah, but I'm talking about the draft picks.
I think Noah
Fant. Devon Smith is the only one that really panned out. Boye Mafe is not terrible.
Now, I can agree with you from the standpoint, Chad, on how much the Broncos gave up. That could put it up for worst trade of all time.
What's your worst trade of all time?
The Falcons trading Brett Favre.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
now the Packers only had to give up a first round pick, and that was it.
I wouldn't say that.
They got a Hall of Famer and a Super Bowl champion out of it. And what did the Falcons get? Nothing.
When I think of
let's not oh, sorry, go ahead.
When I think of worst trades, I think of like Brock Osweiler, like the Houston having to trade him to the Browns for basically literally nothing and give up everything.
Worst outcome of a trade. How about
yes,
that?
Okay, there you go. Worst outcome of a trade.
I mean, why draft somebody if you don't want them? It just doesn't make sense. That's the reason Favre was out. But yeah, I mean, where do y'all think he's going? Has there been any rumors onto most likely?
I've seen like Steelers now, Falcons, either Kirk or Fields is going there, I think.
So I heard your guy's name. I've heard Vikings name being thrown in the hat.
Yeah, the Kirk, it might be going there just because he's they have a report out saying that he's looking for real estate and possibly looking for real estate in Atlanta. Which I mean, you gotta be prepared for any eventuality. He doesn't Maybe he's just looking to see, like, hey, is this better than Minnesota, or do I just want to stay in Minnesota for a veteran minimum? Which I'm just
I don't
kidding.
know
They
what
won't
the
do a veteran
cost
minimum.
of living is in Minnesota, but I know it's probably not as affordable as Georgia.
No, probably not. But
Probably.
I don't know. I think the Steelers right now.
If he couldn't get along with Sean Payton, he ain't getting along with Mike Tomlin.
That's what I'm thinking.
There's no
Kevin O'Connell.
there's
Kevin
no
O'Connell.
way.
I mean, is pretty nice. Well, how would you feel if Russell Wilson took over instead of
If
Kirk
we
Cousins?
don't draft a quarterback, then I will. That's what has to happen. If you pick up Russell Wilson, you have to draft a quarterback. But if you keep Kirk Cousins, you don't have to draft a quarterback yet.
I bet if y'all get Russell Wilson, Kyle will be begging for Kirk back.
Probably, because he'll be going.
Or you guys
he'll
could
be
get
winning
Justin-
MVP somewhere else.
You guys could get Justin Fields for the low right now because his values dropped after all these other quarterbacks
We don't
went
want
on the
Justin
market.
Fields. Why would we want Justin Fields? No one wants Justin Fields because he can't be a quarterback. He can be a running back who can throw occasionally. That doesn't work in the NFL right now.
Yeah, he's a
gotta be able
poor
to-
man, Michael Vick.
You got to be able to throw it. As Lamar has shown, he still hasn't gotten there.
Michael Vick wasn't the greatest passer, but he's better than Fields.
Yes.
So, I mean,
This one website's listing some of the worst. There's 25 listed worst trades here. I forgot about this one. The Colts trading for Carson Wentz. They traded a third round and a conditional first round pick
that was bad.
to the Eagles. They went 9-8.
I remember he had to play like 75% of the snaps, and for that to turn into a first round pick for them. And I don't think it happened. I don't remember what happened.
See, David Johnson. David Johnson traded to the Texans for DeAndre Hopkins straight up. David Johnson
that was
didn't do shit, and then DeAndre Hopkins obviously he's been, when he's healthy, he's been great.
The list that I pulled up, number 1 is Herschel Walker to the Vikings.
Yeah, that one's always brought up. That's one of the worst. I mean, that was just that's how the Cowboys started their dynasty, is by trading his sorry ass.
Deshaun Watson to the Browns.
That was a trade, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then they signed him.
The signing was the bad part.
Well, yeah,
because they didn't have to I mean, they had to give up some stuff, but they didn't have to give up as much because they had to sign him.
Right.
You're the reason the Cowboys became who they were.
Yep.
You guys made America's team. Thanks.
Yep,
Good
you're
job.
welcome.
I can't believe it.
Had nothing to do with Troy Aikman or.
It definitely didn't have anything to do with Troy Aikman. You could have thrown you could have thrown Terry Bradshaw in there, and he would have won it at his age.
That's true. That team was loaded.
Yeah, I was fucking loaded. It was
Michael Irvin and
it was
prime time.
Yeah,
30 years ago.
Haven't done shit since.
Nope. All right. Speaking of bad moves, my opinion, Jason Kelce retired. I don't like it. I think it's too early.
No, he's got a lot of wear. No, he's got a lot of wear and tear, man. Playing center is rough. He hasn't missed very many games.
He's got a Super Bowl ring. He's gonna go in the Hall of Fame.
Dude, he's tired.
I mean, he's got a family and kids.
How would you feel going out there playing center at your age?
He's gonna make money off of his podcast going forward.
Depends. I mean, I don't know because my bank account doesn't look like his. So,
Well, if your bank account looked like that, you probably would still quit if it's gonna.
Yeah, you're like, why
your
put
life
my
after?
Health at risk?
Yeah, I mean,
he
probably got upset when the NFL said they're not going to do anything about the tush push. So It's like, fuck this. I can't do this another year.
Yeah, that probably puts a little bit of wear and tear on him. I mean, he's got 6
Probably.
All-Pros. He's got 7 Pro Bowls, a Super Bowl ring, one of the best centers of all time.
No,
Like he can
I'm not saying he's not. He's obviously he has the accolades. You know, I would have liked to have seen him play another season or two.
Well, of course, everyone wants to see him play a season or two more. Especially my wife, who cried during the retirement speech.
Didn't cry as much as he did.
Oh man, he was.
Dude, I couldn't even watch it. It was bad. He
loves football. That man loves football. He lives and breathes football. I mean, he's still going to stay with the organization. I mean, his wife is deeply involved with the Eagles, and they're not going anywhere. They're staying right here in Philly.
Yeah, she's actually one of the cool chicks too. If you've ever seen her on their podcast.
Yeah. A good Kylie.
Right. All right. A lot of teams released a lot of players. That's the easiest way to put it. Seattle released Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs.
Remember when they traded for him?
Yeah.
That's crazy that what happened to Jamal Adams?
He didn't really play that much, did he?
I think he got hurt a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got hurt a lot.
And I think when he did play, he wasn't that good. But if you're consistently hurt, I mean,
yeah,
you're not going to be able to get a rhythm. They also released one of their tight ends, Will Dissly. Solid backup tight end.
Yeah, he'll land somewhere. That's a cap hit.
Sure.
These are all just cap hits.
Yeah.
Cap casualties.
Yep.
Speaking of, Michael, your Chargers released Eric Kendricks as well.
Solid.
He's coming back to the Vikings.
Think so?
Yeah, I think so. That's where he was. I mean, he was there for 7 years, I think.
Yeah, something like that,
I'm sure he's not the first to get cut by the Chargers. There's more to come. Like Mike Williams. I feel like Mike Williams is going to get cut.
Well, I wonder where he would end up.
Yeah, he definitely would be. I mean, but he's. I don't think he's going to make as much as he'd like because he's definitely got the injury-prone tag. I mean, he didn't even play his rookie season.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to do the dirty work if he goes to KC. That's what Travis is for.
I mean, that's all he does. That's why he's so good. He just bodies up. That's just the way he plays. There's no way. He does the dirty work no matter if it's required or not. He does. He plays like no regard for his body. He's like throwing his body all around. That's why he always gets hurt. But he can jump higher than anybody in the NFL.
Red zone threat.
He's definitely got hops, but man, when you jump that high, it hurts a lot more when you fall down.
Before we get to the tags, the Bills released 5 players today, and including Jordan Poyer and Tre'Davious White.
A lot of good free agent safeties.
Yeah,
good year to be us.
Yep.
Thank God. Vikings need something, but I think we need to cut a few people too.
Rayshon Jenkins from the Jaguars got cut, former Charger. He's solid.
Yeah, and I'm hearing down the pipeline that if a deal doesn't get done, the Packers are going to be releasing Aaron Jones soon.
Oh,
which would be a massive loss.
Yes,
that's a bad
idea. AJ Dillon's not an every down back.
No, God, no. He's not even a 10% back. I mean, he played the games he played when Jones was hurt. He barely played. I mean, we had to go to our 3rd and 4th string running back in those games. Sometimes we even put receivers back there just to help because he can't. I mean, he just doesn't have the stamina to go a full game. 25 runs a game. He can't do that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think unless y'all are going to draft again,
he's Aaron Jones is the heart and soul of our team, offensively. So that'd be a huge loss, and it would knock our team back like 2 or 3 years.
I'm not saying I'm rooting for it.
Yes, you are.
Hey, you can find stud running backs anywhere nowadays. I would
But
say
not a cowboy killer. That's what he does. He fucking annihilates the Cowboys.
yeah, but he's
So-
also one more year older, and then NFL running backs don't age gracefully.
No, they do
But he had
not.
one of his best seasons last year when he was playing. So
I mean,
oh,
I don't know. There's definitely plenty
Packers-
of proof that running backs they can go from being the top of the NFL to the bottom.
You might
sure.
as
I
well
mean,
get one, use them for 4 years, then draft another one. You just keep every 4 years you draft a running back, and then or every 5 years because you can do the team option.
the Packers are known for getting rid of players a year before they should. So it actually wouldn't surprise me. All right. The Colts tagged Michael Pittman Jr. I don't think that was a surprise at all. He's a solid receiver. So
He's like
don't know what else.
he's almost the number one. He's like
Yeah, he's close.
a top tier number 2 wide receiver.
It'll be good for Anthony Richardson though when he's healthy,
Yeah,
because they don't have to worry about the
he's definitely
quarterback. They don't have to worry about that paycheck for a long time.
And the Bears placed a non-exclusive tag on their corner, Jaylon Johnson. Never heard of him.
So he's he's a pretty top
yeah, he's good.
corner. He's a lockdown corner. I used him in Madden for a lot because I was the Bears for a long time. But he's a yeah. I mean, I can't place him in like a top. I'd probably say top 10 at least or cornerback.
Oh, okay. So I need to get to know him.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay.
So not
Chad,
exclusive. That means someone else can offer him a contract, but if the Bears want to keep him, they have to match.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
For everyone who just didn't know, they were listening.
Yeah. So the reason I just called your name is I wanted you to explain the next one because I had never heard of this before. So with the Patriots safety.
Yeah. So I saw that this transition tag where it's the average of the top 10 salaries for safeties. I think it's like for every other tag, it's like the top like 5 or 4 or something like that salaries. But
I thought it was the top salary for a franchise.
Is it top? Okay, I don't remember. It's higher than what this is.
Gotcha.
And then it's just like the other tag where he can sign an offer sheet with another team, but the Patriots have a chance to match the offer. And if they don't match the offer, this is where it differs. They do not get any draft compensation for losing him at all. So if someone does offer them and they do not match, they lose him and get nothing out of it. So it's pretty, I mean, it could go either way. It could be good for you. You're paying less for the guy instead of a regular franchise tag. Or you could lose them because some team offers them more than you're willing to give. And then you don't get any compensation.
Yeah.
See if it works.
All right. And so there was players that were not tagged, big names too, and they will be free agents in a week from today. I think the top name obviously is Chris Jones, which would be a massive loss for the Chiefs.
Yes, absolutely.
They don't win another Super Bowl unless they have him on the defensive line.
Well, I've already heard Legarius's L'Jarius Sneed's name being thrown around out there for getting trades, and I feel like they're going to get rid of him and keep Chris Jones.
Okay. Well, that'd be the best move they could make.
Yeah, they need Chris Jones.
Christian Wilkins also will be a free agent. Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs.
2 really great running backs just
yes,
hanging out there to be signed by a team. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
I mean, you know, if we let Aaron Jones walk, I mean,
Saquon.
Tony Pollard's
I'd
also
rather
out
have
there.
Josh Jacobs because Saquon can't stay healthy, but neither one of them can really. But
Tony Pollard didn't do shit last year. When he
No.
was the number 1, he was
Awful.
terrible. When he was the third down back and, you know, like every once in a while back, he was great.
Well, he openly admitted that he'd be willing to take less to go back to the Cowboys, but that also just lowered his free agency market value if he's saying he'd be willing to take less. So,
Right.
I mean, you could probably pair him with another running back that's already established that is more of a bruiser, because he's obviously the speed and the agility type running back as opposed to somebody like Josh Jacobs.
I like Josh Jacobs better than I do Saquon as well, Brian.
I would love to
Same.
see Josh
Yeah.
Jacobs come to the light side, leave the dark side.
I think Saquon has more big play type things, but he's also very injury prone.
Yes.
Is constantly out.
Man, this episode a week from today, we're gonna have a lot to talk about. A lot of free agent signings are gonna happen before the episode, I'm sure.
And conference tournaments.
Yeah.
Oh
There's a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
going
That's
on.
coming this weekend.
Yeah, can't wait.
Also, Baker Mayfield, Calvin Ridley, and Xavier McKinney. I don't know if we mentioned Michael Onwenu as well, but they kind of.
Who's he? The left tackle for the Ravens? Is that who he is?
I think so. Yeah. Right, Chad?
No, he's a Patriot. Oh
I
shit.
have no
Okay.
idea.
Oh.
I don't know why I thought he was.
What
Raven.
team is he on?
Patriots.
Patriots. Okay.
He got drafted by the Patriots, and yeah, he's a guard too, not even a tackle. I don't know who I thought he was.
That's probably why we don't know his name.
I mean, I've seen his name on Madden for sure, but I mean, I don't. It's not somebody. He's not a big name offensive lineman like Jason Kelce.
No.
Or Tyron Smith.
Be interesting to see where Calvin Ridley ends up. I think that'd be a.
Did he really do anything? He had a really good first game and then just like disappeared.
Who?
Calvin Ridley.
Oh yeah, he was such a bust.
You know, I mean,
what?
I don't trust in him.
Oh no, I don't trust him at all.
Yeah,
I mean, I would.
If he goes to a better quarterback, I don't.
Yeah,
like, you know,
maybe
I think he could do great things.
Justin Herbert.
I
wouldn't mind seeing
any of those. Yeah, I mean, any of those. I think it'd be a solid pickup
with Kirk Cousins.
I mean, he didn't benefit from Trevor Lawrence having a bad year too. It wasn't just on him.
No, that's what I'm saying. If he had a better quarterback, like who's throwing him the football? I mean, Trevor Lawrence was awful.
He was. Yeah. No, I was just
mediocre at best.
Reiterating. Yeah. I still can't get over the fact that he was the quarterback of the team that overcame a 27-0 lead.
That shows you how bad the Chargers are, huh?
Fucking Staley. I saw something Sean Merriman on Twitter post that back in 2004 Jim Harbaugh was coaching USD versus the Dayton Flyers, and Jim Harbaugh won that game as the coach 38-35 on a game-ending interception one of his players made against a quarterback of Dayton Flyers by the certain name of Brandon Staley.
Oh my god.
And now Harbaugh's here taking his job.
And Staley's going to San Francisco.
Yeah.
He probably told his brother. He's like, "Hey, this guy's good." Not his brother. Who am I thinking of? Kyle Shanahan. Probably told Kyle Shanahan that he was great. That Staley was great, and that's why he picked him up.
I don't even know what he's good at. Like, what is Staley good at? He's supposed to be good at defense, but that was not good defense.
Yeah, I know. He had one season where he got to coach one of the best defensive tackles in NFL history and one of the best cornerbacks in NFL history, and was labeled a defensive guru. When he could play, he got away with playing like a shell defense because he had a defender who could play the run and pass, and anytime he got pressure, the cornerback would take advantage of it. So it was just like, if you have an elite secondary player and an elite front line, that's all you need on defense, as long as everybody else is capable. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. The Niners are stacked. I mean, it will definitely be noticeable if they take a drop off, and Staley definitely won't be. I mean, he's not the defensive coordinator. I think he actually got labeled the assistant coach.
Assistant coach, yeah.
He can't hurt them too bad.
I don't know. Confidence is a huge thing in football, and if you don't have confidence in one of your coaches, that's
as long as he's not doing clock management for them.
All right. Any other NFL news that we missed?
Trubisky's going back to the Bills as Allen's backup.
I did see that today. Yeah.
Zach Ertz signed a 1-year deal with the Commanders.
And the NFL is considering potentially going to 18 games next season already.
So they can add more international games.
It's Roger Goodell. I mean, like, this is fucking ridiculous. They don't give a fuck about
get rid of
anybody.
The preseason then.
They're trying to get rid of the chain gang. Like, they're taking away jobs for these old guys that just want to go watch football and fucking do the chain gang. They're taking away jobs. It's awesome. NFL's turning into corporate bullshit and expanding internationally, and it's gonna ruin the fucking game.
Yeah, they have a good thing right now. Let's take it easy.
Like, why the fuck is the home opener for the Philadelphia Eagles in Brazil?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's another reason Jason Kelce retired.
Yeah, that's the reason. I heard. That's what I heard.
Yeah, if I get it in the other leagues, when NBA or baseball, you have 162 games. You have 82 games a season. You can afford to have
and you have a whole lot more international.
Yeah, you can go away
stuff with the NBA and baseball. There's an attraction there.
I mean, but you do see those. They do sell out those games overseas. They don't. They'll put that argument to rest. Joey saying, "Do you see all these stadiums? There's not a single empty seat, and they stay through the whole thing." So
but if they
have ammo to justify it, and at the end of the day, Roger Goodell works for the owners, and at the end of the day, the owners are billionaires for a reason.
Yep.
And whether we like it or not, they're running a business, and they're looking out for their thing. But yeah, you just hope that they don't take it too far that they actually start draining viewers, or
they're gonna
losing more. You're losing players to injuries, and big name players. Like this year, I felt like was pretty bad. There was a lot of injuries, and a lot of quarterbacks and players were not available. But I mean, I guess it happens all the time. But an extra game increases the odds, obviously.
Their plan is to expand to like Europe and have teams in Europe.
They already did that, and it failed.
It's going to fail. I mean, like it won't fail. You know why? Because they'll figure out ways to get it, and then the NFLPA is going to be like, nah.
They'll have to add a second bye week. They have to do 2 bye weeks if you go to 18. I feel like.
I don't understand the 18. Like, why keep adding games? Why do we have to keep?
You got to make it an even number. 17 didn't sound right.
So real quick before we move on, I just looked up. I was trying to find out more information about the Aaron Jones situation, and apparently, somehow I missed this, and AJ Dillon will be a free agent come March 13th. So, that kind of leaves our running back room empty. So
Yeah.
I think the pressure on re-signing Aaron Jones is even more apparent now. So I'm not surprised, to be honest, that they're letting go of AJ Dillon. He wasn't good last year, this past season, and he wasn't that great the year before either. So really not a surprise. But I am shocked that, they're even considering losing Aaron Jones on top of it. So we'll see. A lot will happen in the next 7 days. All right. Moving on to the NBA. I know, Chad, you and I kind of touched base on this before we started tonight, but Celtics' 11-game winning streak came to an end, and we both agreed, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Right?
Not a big deal. Yeah, just like Jaylen
I
Brown
think,
said, it's a mentality loss. Like they got into the mentality of like, yeah, we're better than everybody, and then they just let it get to their head, and they got a little too cocky with it, and let the game slip by, and let some D Wade dude fucking go off in the fourth quarter, outscore the entire team.
yeah, I think it's more concerning that they blew a 22-point lead in the fourth. That's more concerning than just losing to the Cavs,
I'm not really that concerned about it, just because
but
we still have our offensive and defensive efficiency. Did we have a lapse? Yeah. Is it during the regular season? Was it away? It was away, and it was during the regular season. So, I mean, playoffs is completely different. Completely fucking different.
Sure. So, a quote that I learned over the past 6 months, 8 months, something like that. I'll try to get this right. You cannot accept something in a win that you wouldn't in a loss. So, you can't accept that we've been playing great and then just, sweep under the rug, a blown lead like that.
Well, sure you can.
I don't think because teams will see this,
I mean,
and then they'll gain confidence.
We're
down 20.
So you're telling me after we beat the Warriors by 51 fucking points, that are beating the Bucks, that you're saying are doing really well by 10 right now, you're telling me that means nothing because we lost the Cavaliers. We lost a 22-point lead in the fourth quarter against the Cavaliers on a road game after we had just decimated the Warriors.
I just mentioned earlier that football is about confidence. I'm not saying that you all lose any confidence over this. I'm not saying the Celtics lose any. No. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that other teams gain it. When they see that a 20-point lead with the best team in the league, it gets squandered in one quarter, that puts confidence in other teams.
Yeah, because it's never going to happen again.
If the Cavs can do it, led by a Dean Wade, a white dude, then what is a confident team like?
Guess what though? 7 games.
No, I got it.
7 games.
I
it's
get
not
it.
Just one game.
Like I said, it shouldn't mess with your all's mentality at all.
Yeah,
I think
I would like to say it's just
opponents.
NBA regular season. It doesn't matter. Same thing with random baseball game. That's why they play series. Imagine if they played mini series like baseball and basketball.
They started to do that. They started to do that a little bit after COVID, I think.
But I meant like best of. Yeah, you're right. They did it during COVID. They stopped it. They're back to normal schedule
Yeah.
again. But you just play. You only play that team once a year, but you play them like 3 straight games or 4 straight games, and then obviously your divisional teams you play more. But
So division you play 4 times a year. Non-division, same conference, you play 3 times, and then opposing conference you play twice. So that's how the NBA layout is.
yeah, you could. I feel like that would be. How would you feel about that if the NBA adopted what the MLB does, and like they do series instead of just random games going across the country constantly? It
I
would
don't
give
like
you a
it.
better chance. It would give you a better chance to avoid load management because then you have the team coming to your city and you're like, oh fuck, they missed the one game.
But
They set out the one game, but now they have 2 more games for that player to start, or at least another chance. You know,
I
I'd like it. I'd
I don't
probably
like
watch more
change.
NBA if
they
they did
well,
it.
first of all, they'd have to add more games
Why is
because
that?
Because you
well,
can't just
because
have
you
a
can't
homestand for 3
play
games and then
like let's say the Lakers play let's just say they played the Warriors. I mean, they play the Warriors 4 times a year, right? Okay, so if they kept it at 4 times a year and they played 3 of those games in a row in November when it really doesn't matter, why not?
Well, it will
Then you
matter
don't play
now
them
because
again
this
until
is
the
the only time you
playoffs?
play. You gotta get your shit
I,
together then.
I like a good mix. I don't like
yeah.
I would not like that.
You'd have to
Well,
put
that
you'd have to
you
do
like
more
the
games.
regular NBA
And
right now, so that doesn't matter. I don't. I'm trying to fix it.
Well, you know how you fix it is get California to allow sports betting, because for whatever reason, how the fuck does California, of all places, not allow sports betting?
Las Vegas.
Fucking crazy. Oh, so that people
Vegas Vegas
force people to go to
uh,
Vegas.
pours money into the anti-gambling propositions, and
Mm.
yeah, because they're a majority of Vegas's business comes from California.
Yeah, that would be bad business to open up sports betting in California.
I
Then.
watched you open up sports betting in California. Vegas is going to take a huge hit.
Oh yeah, huge.
They don't want that.
and so Doncic got another triple double. It didn't mean anything though. They Mavericks are bad over the last 6 games, I think.
Yeah, the defense has just been atrocious.
They won. They had a 7-game winning streak, and then they've lost 5 of 6, which is just to have that kind of turnaround is really bad. And Doncic and Irving are just unbelievable to watch together, but their defense is just god awful, just terrible.
Yes, their defense is just it's.
And it has been ever since they traded for Irving. I mean, their defense has not been good at all.
Yeah.
But when you have 2 guards that don't play defense at all, that's what's going to happen. And you get rid of your 2 best defenders. Dorian Finney-Smith was one of them, and they just got rid of what's his name too now, Grant Williams.
Yeah,
They just got rid of him too. So as much as I hate him, he's solid defensively, and you can't lose those 2 guys and then expect to do good.
Yeah, Doncic can only do so much, and if they're not playing defense, he has a lot of scoring he has to do to make up for that. So, I mean, he can't. I mean, obviously, he can score 70 or more, but he can't do that every night.
No, absolutely not. He, you know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of LeBron's first stint in Cleveland. LeBron has to do everything, and nobody else on that team can help. Doesn't matter what they do. And those Cavs teams were defensively awful, just bad. That's what it kind of reminds me of.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So the Knicks just can't catch a break, can they? Jaylen Brown is or not Jalen. I'm sorry. Jalen Brunson is still out with a knee injury, and just when they were starting to roll, they got Anunoby, and then he gets hurt. Brunson gets hurt. Randall's hurt. I mean, it's just a disaster for them. They were looking good too, and then these injuries have started to pile up, which is not a good thing. But as we've mentioned before, it doesn't really matter in the East. I don't think
No.
so.
I mean,
I don't think so.
at least he's not like out. He's gonna be out tonight, and then he's probably gonna come back he's probably gonna be back for the next game, because they said it was just a knee contusion.
Yeah.
So, no,
But those are all
MRI was
tricky
negative,
injuries.
so
They're tricky though.
Yeah.
You don't want to risk rushing them back.
no. I mean, especially with the playoff push coming. I
Yeah,
don't think they'll have
we're
to do too much to make the playoffs.
we're a month away. I think most teams have anywhere from 18 to 21 games left, I think. So we're about a month out from the start of the playoffs. So get healthy, get right. But again, I don't think it matters. They're not in the hunt in the East. So
No, unless
even
they
if they
get
are fully healthy.
all of them healthy at once, then maybe.
Still, Randall is a huge disappointment in the playoffs. He shrinks completely. All right, and then Andrew Wiggins is back. He's been out for a little bit too, being hurt, and seems to be.
His was personal reasons. He was out.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, he was out for personal reasons.
I thought he was out. Maybe it was earlier in the year.
He didn't disclose what it was. He just said it was personal.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was a different time than I'm thinking of. But he is. I don't know if it's just him back that's motivating the Warriors tonight, but they're currently up 15 on the Bucks. And I tell you, Kuminga has really stepped up this year. Have you watched the Warriors at all?
I have not really.
Jonathan Kuminga has been really good for them over the past, I don't know, 25 games probably. He's been their second best player. Obviously with Clay being not so good.
Yeah.
And Steph doing Steph things. Kuminga's been their second best player.
Steph hasn't been that good lately either. Ever since the All-Star break, he hasn't really.
No, but nobody on that team's really been good.
No.
And he's still been the best for them. All right, and then I think the Lakers just tipped too against the Kings probably about 15 minutes ago. I'm gonna keep my eye on that. All right, we mentioned this earlier too. The college basketball regular season's coming to an end. This is the last week of the regular season, and conference tournaments start next week. It's March, and madness is right around the corner.
Buddy. Get those brackets ready. You ready for this, Michael?
Yes. When do we have to fill them out by? That's after the tournaments are over, right? That's
we got to fill.
Selection Sunday is March 17th.
Yeah.
17th. Okay.
Yeah.
So the brackets will need to be done no later than before noon on the
Thursday.
19th. Well,
Tuesday.
it depends on
All right.
how. You could do Thursday, but you got those.
Who gives a fuck about those
First.
games? Those games are fucking made up and bullshit anyways. No one gives a fuck about them.
Yeah, can you set your bracket after the first four?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
Fuck
can.
yeah. Because
you
fuck
can.
that shit. I don't give a fuck about
So-
those teams.
that March the 20th we can do reveal our brackets then, right? We could get them done before that Wednesday,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Purdue won their second straight Big Ten title, and also tonight it was announced that Tennessee, after they won the SEC outright for the first time since 2008. So congratulations to both of them. Yeah.
Nice. And UNC can win it this weekend. They have a tie. They have a share of it, and if they win this weekend, they get the ACC title. And then I think Houston's gonna win the Big 12, possibly.
Yeah, I don't know who would be.
Kansas, maybe. I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Kansas has lost a lot lately. A lot.
Yeah, they have not been good.
Arizona looks like they're primed to seal the final Pac-12 championship ever. RIP Pac-12 one more time.
One more time. Maybe Pac-12. Maybe we'll get a Pac-12 title. Pac-12 national champion for one last ride. Get Arizona.
I mean, yeah, I'd like to see him there. I think UConn gonna be powerful again. They somehow always just seem to dominate in the tournament.
Yeah, they're looking to go back to back, which hasn't been done since Florida did it back in 2006, 2007. Never forget that Florida won the national title in football and basketball in the same year in 2007.
No way in hell UConn's pulling that off. Not with their football program. Yeah, I think only a SEC team would ever be capable of pulling that off. Not many other schools out there have good football and basketball. Although Arizona, no, Jed Fish less than them, but they were in the top 25 in football at the end of the year, so they're a force to be reckoned with in the Pac-12 or now Big Ten.
All right, so Chad, kind of explain this KenPom thing.
All right, so I've talked about this before on the podcast, the KenPom rankings. This guy,
Pomeroy.
Yeah, he back in like the early 2000s made this rating system that's been pretty effective. All the teams that have won in the last 20 years, except for two, were top 20 in both adjusted defense and offense. The exception was 2014 UConn. They came out of nowhere. I'm telling you, Louisville blew them the fuck out of the water in the Big East tournament. I mean, just Big East or American, blew them out, just destroyed them, and then UConn didn't lose after that. And then 2019
when was that?
Baylor, 2014.
Oh, I remember that because they played Kentucky in the national championship.
Dude, it was
I remember.
They came out of nowhere.
That was the first year with the Twins.
Oh yeah.
And then the following year, that's when, and we'll get to it later, but that's when history was made. The following year.
Yep. And then 2019 Baylor, but they were just outside. They were barely outside. Really, UConn was the big anomaly in this system. So right now, the teams that actually meet the criteria are Houston, UConn, Purdue, Arizona, Auburn, and Tennessee. With Houston being number one in the nation, obviously. Their defense is not that great. It's good. Compared in the top 20, they're kind of like not that great. But their defense is number one. And I think like the most balance is probably Houston. Arizona's pretty balanced when it comes to offense and defense. Auburn, it's really and these will change through the conference tournament. So these people could, like, or teams can go, below or go out still. And then we have frauds. Teams that are very, very, very high ranking in one category, but not good in another category. And two of the teams that stood out to me were Alabama, who's number 9 in the country. They have the number 1 offense in the country. They are potent, but their defense is 106. So they're number 106 out of 300 and whatever teams. And that's why they're frauds, because their defense is dog shit. They're not going to be able to make it through the tournament. So is Illinois, who's number 12. They have a number 4 offense, but their defense is ranked number 95. So once again, just
you could actually throw another team into there.
Kentucky
and Kentucky.
Yeah, their offense is good.
We have the third best offense, I think, in the nation, but we have the 98th best defense, and that's prior to tonight's game. Kentucky has blown the doors open on this game now. they were down I think 4 or 5 with 2 minutes left in the first half, and then they had a barrage of threes. They went up 5, and now I think they're up. I don't know. Last I saw was 18. So they can get hot quick, and you need that in the tournament, but you also need great defense. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe they can win 6 games with just a high-powered offense. Maybe they can score over 100 points a game.
Nothing's impossible.
They have a chance.
UConn did it last year. I mean, they had a decent defense, but they didn't have. It's not like you're completely dominant.
Right.
And like this year's not. There's no teams that are really that dominant.
It's the NIL, man. The talent is getting distributed evenly around the country because players are going where they can play and get paid at the same time. That's all they're asking when they're recruiting. they're asking the coach, "Will I play? How much are you going to pay me?"
Yep.
That's just all you got to do in college now.
Tennessee's now out. Their offense went down to rank number 21, so they're now out. So goodbye, Tennessee. You won't be missed.
That means Auburn's the only SEC team in there now.
Yep. So now you have Auburn, Arizona, Purdue, Connecticut, Houston. But like I said, this is going to change. But this is and you can use this for betting. If you're looking at like a potential Final Four. I mean, but also remember last year Purdue. Where was Purdue ranked? They were ranked number 1, I think, in the country.
Yep, and they lost in the first weekend, I think, right?
Yep. So they're ranked number 7 at the end of the season. And they lost in the first round. And that's all about the KenPom. We got some teams on the bubble. Last 4 in, last 4 buys, and I think that 2 of the teams on here just faced each other, Villanova and Seton Hall, and Villanova lost, right? And so those 2 could flip. Seton Hall might be in, Villanova might be out now.
Yeah, UConn squeaked out a win tonight. Against Marquette.
Was a squeaker.
2 versus
7
8
points.
matchup.
So
7 points. Hey, they beat the spread, so
one could say that Houston struggled tonight too.
Yeah.
They were losing by 3 at halftime to a really bad Central Florida team.
Number 6 Iowa State's losing to number 20 BYU. It's a good matchup.
Might have spoke too soon on the Kentucky game if they don't pull their head out of their ass.
Yeah, now it's down to 11. This cannot keep happening.
No.
My
Speaking
poor-
of, I'm sorry, Michael. Go ahead.
I would say my poor alma mater, San Jose State's
I just
getting
saw it.
mopped
Yeah.
off the court by Utah State. It's okay.
Yeah.
It was not a great athletics college.
Speaking of Kentucky basketball, this day in history, we probably had one of the greatest 1-2 punches in college basketball history that did not get the right ending to a season. I think that's mainly because Calipari decided that Devin Booker was bench material and not a starter. I think that, plays a factor. But in 2015, Kentucky finished the regular season 31-0, and they ended up going 38-0 before losing in the Final Four to Wisconsin. And Frank Kaminsky was the Wisconsin player that decimated Karl Anthony Towns and just made him look foolish.
I remember where I was at when I was watching that game and how much emotion overcame me when Kentucky lost. I was just, I was so overcome with joy because, Louisville's already out. So, and Louisville probably, I don't even know if, oh wait, that's 2015. I don't even know if Louisville was even in the tournament. So that was my national championship right there. I just want to, it's
just like awesome. Every time I watch the Patriots in the playoffs and they lose, you're just like, we did something, boys. We won.
Everyone starts cheering because
mission accomplished.
I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings, and it was the first time ever that my ex-wife watched a basketball game with me, and it was this game. That was my omen.
Oof.
That was my omen right there. I should have known. Should have known to leave right then and there. But
the harbinger of death.
To make me feel a little bit better though, the year before that, Wichita State went undefeated, and who did they lose to in the second round of the tournament? That's right, Kentucky. So Kentucky ended their undefeated season, and then ours was ended short the next season. So
and it was also ended that season by UConn.
Yep. Yeah. But again, I mean, talent-wise, that 2015 Kentucky team was just loaded.
Yes, it was.
I mean, you had the Harrison twins, which they didn't do anything in the NBA, but you had Devin Booker and Karl Anthony Towns, and I mean, it was just loaded top to bottom, and just a awful showing in the Final Four. Just awful.
I disagree. I thought it was great.
All right. Y'all have anything else that you wanted to get to? Any last things?
Nope.
Nothing.
I got nothing, senor.
All right. Looks like Kentucky's going to hold on for a double-digit win.
That's
possibly.
Good. It better be.
Possibly. And the Warriors are holding a 15-point lead over the Bucks, so that's interesting. Lakers are up 12 early on the Kings, so I'm liking what I'm seeing. That's all I got. We will be back live on Saturday, and we'll be at full strength, I hope. And we will talk to you guys then. This is the Two Guys, Two Seamen podcast.